ready for your dose of reality. Everyone, welcome to the Dr. Quack Podcast. I'm Dr. Quack.
And we're insulted in Texas because I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem, and we're reviewing something that should never have existed in the first place. Well, let me rephrase that. It shouldn't have existed on a pay-per-view, and of course we're talking about the 1991 garbage this Tuesday in Texas.
Unequivocally.
And because it's 1991, I'm wearing my Vince McMahon gold jacket today. I want to feel like Vince McMahon because apparently wearing this god-awful colored jacket, Vince McMahon became a billionaire. Maybe I can too.
Oh my God, yeah. This took place at the Freeman Stadium over here.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yes, oh my God.
And my one Chuck Norris award is to the people in San Antonio who didn't ask for their money back after watching this house show.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was definitely, they had how many dark matches here?
7.
7 dark matches and 5 matches on the card that was actually shown.
Yeah, after watching this really felt like it was a house show, and then they went, hey, let's turn this into an angle. Let's put Hulk Hogan on it and make it a pay-per-view.
And they even had the Legion of Doom working twice defending their titles, not just against the Rockers, but against the Natural Disasters.
All on the house show.
All on a house show. So let's move on here. Good God. Yeah, on commentary, at least you had it good here. You had Gorilla and you had Bobby.
Yeah, as I've said before, they're not as good as doing play-by-play as they are doing what we're doing here. Basically, they were the original podcast, and they were the best at it. We try and be them. We're getting there. We'll never be there, but we're trying. So this was really, really good, but we got the other guys. I want to mention them this time just because I always pick on them. I want to hear what you have to say. We have Sean Mooney and Mean Gene Okerlund.
Mean Gene was the face when it came to interviewers, though, and during his time. He did a great job. He was starting to lose his slip here, but not much. Sean Mooney is, of course, Sean Mooney. Yeah, not that great, but
I'm going to say one
passable.
thing. I'm going to say one thing nice about Sean Mooney. At least he looks like an adult, unlike Craig DeGeorge.
Yes, big thing with Sean Mooney is he was in all the United Kingdom WWF wrestling games.
Because he's the only one they would allow in.
That is probably true, and I don't know why.
Because he looked like the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes. But on ring announcer, we had the fake Howard Finkel.
Can't say anything bad about that. Let's start tearing up these matches.
Yeah, referees Danny Davis, Earl Hebner, and Joey Morella.
Can't say anything bad about that. Let's get to tearing up these matches.
Yeah, tearing up these matches. Because now I'm going to move to my 2-finger salute. Because when you have a crappy match here at the very beginning, this is awful here. You had Bret Hart, great worker, taking on Skinner for the Intercontinental title. Who booked this shit? I have no idea, but somebody did, and this was a god-awful match.
God-awful is right. And the bad thing about it, this is really scary. This is one of my higher-ranked matches. I only gave this thing 2 stars.
Yeah.
And for me, that's pretty high. I'm not a fan of Steve Kern. I like Skinner even less. This match had no passion and no excitement. This is what let us know basically this was a house show they decided to turn into a pay-per-view. This is something they would have put in San Antonio when they go, hey, we're going to give you an IC title match with no intentions of Bret Hart losing the title, and the crowd didn't buy it.
I mean, when you have one-offs, you want to have, a couple matches in there to actually mean something. This one had 2. I'll give it that out of the 5. This match here did not mean crap. It was garbage. It was like, why book this?
But I will say, from a setting of the table standpoint, at least there were no technical flaws, so the crowd didn't have anything to yell at except boring, which they did.
They did. 2 stars for me on that, too. Moving along, actually a match that mattered. Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth taking on Jake the Snake Roberts. That whole story was great.
Yeah. Macho Man Randy Savage, I don't know what was wrong with his outfit. He was either channeling his inner Doink the Clown, or he decided he was going to go work at a Pizza Hut later on as a waiter on the table.
Coke level 11.
Yeah, his outfit was awful. This is the Cobra bite, the infamous wake up Cobra bite that happened at the Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, shortly after that, actually, I bit him on the arm during Superstars, yeah.
Yeah, this Tuesday in Texas took place 3 days after Survivor Series 1991. And the match, while intense, the crowd was into it, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
it was very intense. The story was appropriate, but it really felt like these guys kind of went, this is too early for this match. Because both these guys were both known for their psychology and understanding of a story, felt this was not the right time for this match, so they went through the motions. It was okay. The post-match was better than the match. There was more intensity in the post-match. I gave 2 1/4 stars to the match and an extra 1 star to the post-match. So all in all, 3 1/4.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that high. I would say total I'm giving it about 2 1/4 because, I mean, Macho looked like he was beyond coked up. Jake looked like he was on drugs in this match. This was not that great of a match. It didn't live up to it.
No, but the Elizabeth trying to save Macho Man. And that's why I'm saying the post-match was a whole star by itself.
Very true.
Because they really put over Savage and Elizabeth. They really teased the bag because Jack Tunney said that if any reptiles were at ringside, well, it was hidden underneath the ring, so it was technically at ringside, but it wasn't in the corner. So that part was good, but this match really, like I said, was underwhelming. I went high because of the historical significance of the feud that this was leading from. This was the first big feud after Macho and Elizabeth got back together.
And just like on this show, we're going to take a quick commercial. Back.
Do we have to be back?
Yes.
Because this next match, I'd rather go back to another commercial. Our sponsors, Crystal Infinity, they do a great job. They have great entertaining commercials. This next match, we've seen better matches from these guys, but it definitely wasn't this one.
No. British Bulldog taking on the Warlord with Harvey Whippleman. Don't you love that W scepter?
No. It wasn't here in this one.
It was
because he came out in the plastic W body armor. So he didn't look like Kano this time. This time he looked like a football player that forgot his gear and made it at home.
And then they say don't always put 2 power guys together in the ring, and this is an example of why you don't.
Yeah, their match at Mania 7, I believe it was, they were doing this feud a little bit longer. And their match at Mania 7, I gave it a 3 1/4 stars. It was a great match. It was obvious they worked on it because this match was not very good. 1 1/4 stars.
It was awful.
And I've been looking for something to spray. I can't spray the whole show. That just doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to spray the annoyance that is Harvey Whippleman. Only because he does things that are far more embarrassing, and this started it. So I'm just going to quickly stop him. Maybe he won't turn himself into Hervina, and that will be erased from our memory.
Good luck with that. Let's move along here because, we had great tag team action here. We had the Repo Man and Ted DiBiase taking on El Matador, Tito Santana, and Virgil.
This match, well, I do like the pairing of Ted DiBiase and Repo Man. In storyline purposes, Ted wants stuff back, and he hires the Repo Man to get his $1 million title back. Why Virgil, first of all, was even in any kind of meaningful storylines is beyond me. The Matador, that makes even less sense than the Repo Man and Ted DiBiase.
Remember what he used to say, how do you spell Virgil? You remember how you really spell it? Garbage. Garbage.
Yes. This match was a bit sloppy. This felt like this was a house show main event of, hey, you four guys, you appeared here. Our regular main event didn't show up, so you guys are now the main event. That's what it really felt like. And there was no real build-up to this match either. There was no real explanation why, because Ted DiBiase already had the $1 million title back, so he didn't need to still be tagging with the Repo Man, which he never did anywhere else. And there was no reason for Virgil and Matador to be teaming up because Repo Man and Virgil weren't feuding. Repo Man and the Matador were not feuding, so it's time to break him out. Reasons!
Oh, man. Oh, God, this card was bad. I mean, if you ever just, want to sit alone and be bored for 3 hours, watch this because you will be probably bored for most of it.
Yeah, and because of differences with the booking committee, they shut off his unlimited package to Peacock, so we had to watch it with commercials.
Oh, God.
Which you can't fast forward through.
No. You want to so bad. I gave this match 1 3/4 stars. To me, it made no sense. Like you said, it was a main event for primetime wrestling, I think.
1 3/4 as well, because, well, we are big fans of Teddy, and we are big fans of the Repo Man.
Yes. Not their match.
Not this match.
No, please don't watch this. But now I'm going to move on to my Quack Attack, which is also the main event here. If you're going to pick a match out of the 5, you got to pick one. This is the match. Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker, current WWF champion.
Yeah, this match came about at Survivor Series 91 under nefarious circumstances. The Undertaker won the title from Hulk Hogan because I forgot who. I really didn't care. I was trying to stay away from falling asleep. And this went Ric Flair.
Yes.
Brought down a chair, and The Undertaker spiked Hogan, tombstone pile
He was
driver
only this far from the chair.
on a chair, and Hogan got pinned. So Jack Tunney, therefore, unequivocally, said, you will defend the title at this Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I'm making fun of him. I still think he should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's monotone as hell, but yeah, should be a Hall of Famer. But
So we get this.
this match wasn't bad to me. I actually gave this match 3 stars. I loved it for what it did. It represented like a transition time for wrestling here because you had The Undertaker as champion. Hogan had it for about 4 days, and then it went to the Royal Rumble, which is considered one of the greatest ones that we already covered.
Yeah, the match itself for me is only 2 1/4 stars. This was still Undertaker was a little over a year of being here. He still was just choking a few cool moves. He really didn't have much of an offense except for elimination. And Hogan doesn't work well in that style. So this match really didn't feel good. They tried to get fancy and they ended up having, kayfabe word of the day, a double duck. A double duck is, in reality in wrestling, one person goes to throw a clothesline, the other person's supposed to duck underneath it. That's a duck. Well, when they forget who's supposed to duck and they both duck their heads at the same time and they run by each other, it's called a double duck. Kayfabe word of the day, it's not a good thing to do a double duck.
No. And that spot where Taker went and hit the ropes and smacked the back of his head.
That's all right where it happened. The double duck led to The Undertaker hitting the ropes improperly, and Hogan came running over and then stood there and looked at him.
Yeah. This match was okay. This show was not really that great, but that's all we got here for that one.
I want to finish my thought here.
Oh, you want to?
I know you hate this
it's
pay-per-view,
awful.
and I hate it too. Vince Russo did not exist at this time in 1991. He was not Vic Venom.
Somebody double check that.
He was not a booker. He was not a promoter. But he still feel like he wrote this match. This thing is so overbooked, it's not even funny. But in the historical significance, this thing is a 3.5-star match because it led to the greatest Royal Rumble 1992 that Ric Flair won. That led to WrestleMania 7, where Savage wins the title back. So all in all, it comes full circle.
WrestleMania 8, by the way.
Or 8, excuse me. But God, this thing was not worth it. This show should not have existed. They could have just done this. Jack Tunney should have just said, "I'm stripping both of them, and you're going to have it in the Royal Rumble," and we would have had a whole lot better. Our eyes would not have been bleached out.
All right, so now there's...
Now you can close.
Thank you, because there's them thoughts. Look what's coming next, right here, coming up this Monday, Valentine's Day.
Man.
We're going to cover this bad boy. Make sure you tune in for that.
Man.
I'm Dr. Quack with all the love.
And I've got dead roses over here because that is not a Valentine's Day gift.
See you then.